Hey all. Today I'm going to talk about a EHR that I have never heard of, Zanda, which was formerly Power Diary. And it um, so today I'm going to talk about Zanda, which is formerly Power Diary EHR. And we'll jump right into the pricing for it. So I'd never heard of this one before. And they seem to have some good pricing at, the first 6 months are 50% off. So if you are just one practitioner and they have 1,000 appointment limit. So that includes individual and group, and past appointments count towards the limit, but it seems like future ones don't until they occur. And then after that, they upgrade you to this plan, which is $24.50 a month for the first 6 months, and then $50. And so, it includes, it seems like, pretty much everything. There's, customizable notes. We can have unlimited users, file storage, practitioner scheduling. And then it looks like each additional practitioner is only $9.50 a month in the beginning, and then probably $19 a month after that 6 months. Coupon runs out. And then it also, you can pay, for an additional fee for SMS and telehealth, which is $10 a month per practitioner, or $9 a month per practitioner, which is pretty in line with a lot of the ones that I've seen. And they also have AI that you can add on, and the AI will transcribe your sessions and create notes, things like that. So it looks like you can pay as you go, which is also interesting way to do it. So these are the options. They have you can have different locations. You can have at least in the growth plan, you can have calendar groups. So I noticed that they have had different so they have things like availability finder tool. They have appointment conflict alerts, which is always helpful. You can color code the appointments, appointment warnings, and it looks like they even have a free version of telehealth too. And then they have appointment reminders. It has Google Calendar sync. A waitlist feature, which is really cool, that's included. And on the more expensive plan, you can get room and resource booking and things like that. So if you have a group practice or something like that, and unlimited contacts, things like that. Document storage, they handle billing, and they have a lot of other cool features that I will get into. But essentially, what I think is nice is that most things are included already in the price, so you're not having to add on a bunch of things. So when you log in, they have a great little setup wizard that I already started and went through. They have a great little video that you can watch. And then they have all these great guides and tutorials and things like that. And so once you get it set up, you can head to the calendar, which is here, very simple. And so if you want to add a new client, you can just click, you can put the time, change the location, who it's with. What I really like is that, it can be a client session. It could just be a personal appointment, so it doesn't have to be a session, or it can be a group. And I think that's also great. And then if you have specific resources that you use for groups or something like that, like a specific group room, you can block that off too. And so it handles groups And then you can flag things. So like as a final appointment, initial appointment, and I think you can add other flags on there, which again, I think is just a nice feature to have. And so let's see. Let's say it's a final appointment. You hit save. And then it color codes it that way, which I think is nice so that you know it's a final appointment. So calendar, easy to use. You can drag things easily and change the time. You can easily see the invoice, how much it cost, those types of things, and how many appointments they've had this year. So yeah, that's essentially, the calendar. You can put it in, so it's in private mode, so you can not show the client's names. And you can also change, the view to month, Monday to Friday, or just the day, which I always think is nice. They have a time finder, so you can find when you have availability, and if it's dependent on like which room is available, you can use that, which I think is another great option. And you can easily see here how it's color coded, so pending, confirmed, all of that. And then you can use the flags, things like that. So a lot of filters that you can use too, to easily see. One other cool feature they had is a waitlist. And so you can add a client to the waitlist, and you can add tags again, and choose a practitioner, and then you can put their availability in there, how long they've been waiting, and those types of things. So again, I think that's a really great feature to have. And then you can actually, if they're on the wait list and there's someone actually here, you can add, you can send them a text message to let them know maybe, hey, your wait's almost done or something like that. So easy to do. And so that's the calendar and sort of client end of things. If you want to add a client, easy to do. And they have all different types. You can have a client, you can have a shared profile, you can have a contact, a refer, a third party, all sorts of different things. So they make it easy to add all of that in and to look through and see. The billing section seems pretty standard, and you can create a new invoice. You can also create it from the actual appointment itself. You can add in payments that come in, and so you would choose the person, and then you can add the payment method, so however they are paying. And then you can do client, insure, all of that. And I'm sure if I had actually a paid account and payment set up, there would be other options here too. They have super bills, and they have a client portal where the client can access all of these things. And so, again, all very standard and easy to use. And so yeah, again, I probably, if I had an actual payment that had gone through, this is where the super bills would come up. And there's other you can do session packs, which may be helpful if you have a group or something like that and you want everyone to pay for the group up front. And you can do a pack like that and then charge people in that way, which can be nice again if you do groups. And then all of the records under this client are here. Any correspondence you have with them through the EHR would show up here. Forms, progress report, diagnoses. Let's see. And so it does look like they have codes preloaded, so they would already be in there for you to add in, and then you can add in more if you need to. You can add notes to it, those types of things. And you can text them from here, email them, and I assume the letter, I'm not sure how that works. Let's see. It looks like it is something that you could then print and send if you wanted to, or you can send it as an attachment. And what I think would be nice about this is that if you do happen to print it out and mail it to them, it's also immediately in the record. So that's a really cool feature actually to have. And then you have admin area. Which is, you have an admin area, so you could have, your admin in here able to handle some things, admin notes, which is always a nice thing to have, files, forms, things like that are kept separate. So that seems, really comprehensive, well organized. And so they also have a nice dashboard. Where you can easily see client data, things like that, and anything will coming up. Anything, if you have a group practice, you can have it all practitioners or locations, things like that, which I think is great, and just easy to see, how many notes and things like that are done. And then they have a whole report section, which is always important, and you can see any activity that's been done. Client appointments, birthdays, stats, forms, things like that. Financial reports, which is always good. And then practice reports. So how many telehealth sessions, deleted appointments. That's interesting. That's nice. SMS usage, things like that. So it looks like you can easily track a lot of things that you might want to track. And under their tools, so they have some nice... They have email templates and things like that, but one thing I like is they have a bulk send option. So if you needed to send, that your practice is closed for the day or something like that, you can easily send that out to all clinicians, and you can specify, or clients, and you can specify who you want to send it to. They do have note templates. In a library. And so, a lot of those things are great. It's not as comprehensive as some of the other EHRs I've seen. But of course, you can create your own note template, and they have options for drop downs and multiple things you can choose, and short answer, things like that. And then they also have forms. So all your intake forms and things like that, you may have a form library. It's not as comprehensive as some of the other EHRs that I've seen, so you may need to buy some forms on your own. But it looks like they've got some important ones, like the HIPAA notice of privacy practices, a telehealth, release of information, things like that, which is great. And then one really cool thing I thought that they have is they have a practice manual that is built in. And so with the practice manual, it's essentially, they created this as a template. You would absolutely need to edit this and go through everything. But again, if you have a group practice, or everyone should have a practice manual anyway, even if you don't have a group practice. But this is such a great starting point and so easy to just fill in, and then you have it and you're done. So I think that's such a wonderful resource to have in there. So that's definitely something that sets it apart, I think, from some of the other ones. So overall, it really seems like a solid choice. And they handle group appointments, things like that. I would need to do a little more research to see how they handle like parents and kids. But otherwise, it looks like it really has all of the features that you would need. Let me know if you've tried this before or heard of it before in the comments.